Hello, world! Welcome to session 16 of Heroes of Nessis. So, let's see. Last time, you guys started with, we started with Maxim and Nia. It was nighttime. And Maxim, with honest academic curiosity, cast detect thoughts on Nia as she was sleeping. And Maxim saw through Nia in her perspective a chaotic battlefield as she struggled to fight, but none of her spells seemed to do what she wanted them to do. Maxim then tried to help her, but he unknowingly only made the dreams more intense. So in the
Right.
morning, Maxim and Nia sat down to breakfast, and who should walk in but Samara? And Samara is Quadri's, or who was Quadri's girlfriend. But anyways, you guys would have briefly seen her last night, or the night before, in the brothel. So she joined Maxim and Nia at their table and immediately started asking after their mission and the base where Quadri had been staying, claiming that she had some friends whom she wanted to get to safety. And suspicious of this, Maxim cast Detect Thoughts, only to hear the haughty man's voice overpowering her. So Maxim and Nia brought Samara upstairs to confront her, but ended up in a bit of a violent altercation as Samara seemed to be battling with herself for control. And Maxim, once the pair had her under control, Maxim sent a message about the chaotic morning to Quadri, and the pair set off to find him with Samara wrapped up in a cloak. So back with Quadri, he had spent the night in the Rusty Anchor and rose to a new morning seeking out a place to bathe at the brothel. And so Maxim and Nia arrived with Samara, and Quadri prayed to Fina to keep Samara safe, putting a newly carved holy symbol in. Hold on, wow. Did I write this right? Prayed to Fina to keep Samara safe, putting a newly carved holy symbol on her while he was praying. And he was able to cleanse Samara, who relayed what she could remember. And she promised to stay away from him for now and wished him luck on the mission. So we basically ended with Nia and Maxim on their way to the university, and I'm not really sure what Quadri's plan was, but that's what I had in my notes.
He was headed back. He would have been headed back, not knowing if they had gone or left to the
Headed back where? To the Rusty Anchor?
No, to where everyone else was at. Because he wasn't sure.
So the Tipsy Duck.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I assumed everyone else would be, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so like I said, Nia and Maxim, you guys decide last session. Now you can change this if you want, that you guys were going to head to the university to try to figure out what you can do, what information you might be able to get from Professor Jahi. I know it's been a while, but that's what I had there. But again, if you want to change it, you can. So, who wants to do what, and who would like to go first?
So did we talk over plans that we were going to the university and that he was going back to keep an eye on her and all that?
Samara said that she was gonna leave and keep her distance while the group was working on their mission.
Yeah. We've essentially, successfully gotten the message through that this is going to get super dangerous, and there is going to be a radius of danger.
Yes.
We are very much in the danger zone.
Danger zone. I'm sorry.
So, do you guys want to take a minute to deliberate what you want to do again, now that it's been 2 weeks since this past session?
Because I think we were going with a more direct approach now. where
Yes.
the two of us are going to go stake out the university and try and find him. Shahi?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did we want to talk about plans, or did we probably just want to get more information?
And what exactly was your plan, Quadri? I mean, if you just want to get going, I mean, by all means, but I just know that it had been a while and I wanted to make sure you guys were doing what you wanted to do
No,
here.
yeah, my plan was after this, because I was assuming that I'd send her ahead, and I'd have no idea if they'd have waited or not. So I'm headed straight for the duck, hoping to catch up to them. If not, I know that they're going to do what I would remember is they're going to go do their surveillance thing on the professor today. So I know I'm going to not try and look for them to blow their cover. I'm just going to probably wait around for a bit, do my own little circle of the city, but then meet up afterward.
Back at the hotel or the
Back at the
place?
duck. That's where I'm assuming
Okay.
home base is.
Mm-hmm. For now,
Yeah.
home base is the Tipsy Duck.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But also to let them know, hey, I might dip out later for a fight I'm probably going to lose. 'Cause I'll be frank, I don't think I
Eh,
could beat the new I don't think I could beat the cool wolf, chick in a fight, and she also lost to this dude.
yep, that's certainly something to consider.
We'll find out. We'll be fine.
Yep. All
We'll
right,
see about
so
that.
Maxim, Nia, you guys are on the way to the university. How's it going?
Fresh nightmared. Fresh slept well.
I assume I think Maxim I
So,
think we established that he was in disguise, but he's probably keeping an eye out if anybody's following them or staring at them.
okay.
Nia is following Maxim
So
because
you
she
know what?
has no
Actually, let
idea
me.
where she's going.
Also fair.
Okay. All right. So you guys are doing great. You're doing fine as you traverse the streets of Osney. And things are getting busy. People are setting up their stalls in the market. Hecklers are heckling, and people are boasting about their wares through the different districts as you go. And things become busier and busier as you start to approach the university, which is something like a city within a city. And the architecture is vastly different. Whereas most of Osney is made up of these white buildings with blue copper roofs. The architecture in the university is like little tiny bits of color everywhere and little different tastes of architecture from different lands. It's truly a bustling and very busy, both visually and socially, atmosphere as people are going to and fro from these buildings, which tower into the sky. And you'll notice as you walk towards the university that there are a lot of the white cloaks about. Some are huddled into groups who just seem to be having good-hearted conversation with their comrades. Others look about with a bit of suspicion, and every once in a while you'll see some of them casting just curious glances at you guys. But as Maxim is in disguise, they just sort of look away with just that momentary curiosity quelled.
Right? Nobody seems to be suspicious at the moment, it seems like. Correct me if
Nope,
I'm
not
wrong.
at the moment. Just that momentary curiosity when you notice that somebody is, arriving, and you just kind of look to see, what's going on, and then, oh, okay, it's just a person.
Weighing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so horrible if I had just spelled that spell right now. Yeah.
Yep.
So I
So,
guess I would start directing towards
Maxim, you are
Shahi's
familiar with the Yeah,
Yes.
so you're familiar with the university and all that. So you would know
Very.
where the library would be, where Professor Jahi's classroom would be. Excuse me. So where do you decide you want to try to take yourself and Nia?
We hadn't gotten like a book as a gift yet, right? To impress him with.
Nope.
Nope. Nope, not yet.
Quietly, he's going to say, I think our best bet would be to start with the library. We might find him there, but if not, we can search for something that would make a good impression with him, perhaps.
Nia will quietly nod her head in agreement.
All right.
To
So
the
you're heading to the
library.
library. Okay. So you're not the only ones approaching the library. There are several people who sort of flow with you into that space, and there are people sort of fighting against the current as they try to squeeze out of the library. But all in all, you enter,
Real,
and
real quick, just not to
Mhm.
make a fool of ourselves. We don't see Professor Jahi in this area, do we?
I mean, you can. I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you, you do not see him in this immediate
Okay.
area.
I didn't think so. I just figured that probably we should be checking for that. Do I recognize, like, specifically, like, anybody of note? I guess, also, do I recognize people? Yeah.
There are a lot of new faces in the crowd, and a lot of them are in that costume of the white cloaks. So it's an overall very different and unfamiliar university atmosphere than what you remember as a student and as a child growing up here.
Seems more, maybe not militaristic, but authoritarian.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
yeah, it seems more strict.
Yeah. He seems
But it's
maybe a
strange
little
because there are
disheartened.
people who, yeah, and so it's strange because there are people who are technically the enemy, but they seem just like regular people who are perhaps excited to be studying or excited to serve their country. There's a mixed buzz of severity, but also excitement. It just depends on who
Which direction you
you're
look.
looking at this building.
Yeah.
So as you, yeah, so as you enter the library, I don't have any tokens up for this, but you will notice that there is someone painting an enormous mural on the wall. And this map doesn't really do it justice, but this is like a cavernous place just piled with shelves and ladders and just stories of books. It is a huge place, and so there's plenty of room for this larger than life mural to be painted on the walls. And something about it seems familiar to both of you.
History check.
I was just
Yes,
gonna go
if you would
up
like to roll a
and
history check.
examine it.
Hey,
A
if
history
you want to roll a
check
history check, Maxim, you
for
can.
Maxim.
And Nia, if you want to take another approach, by all means.
I wanted to take a
So,
closer
Maxim,
look
if you
at
want to roll
the-
that.
Let's see.
Okay.
Sorry, it's dark in my room. I can't quite make that out. What is that a 9 or an 8 or? Okay, that is 16 plus 9. Yeah, 25.
Yeah, 25. Okay. And I'll hold off on telling you what you see until we see what Nia does here. So you're just walking up to it to look at it closer?
Yes.
Not getting too close, but I am getting close enough to kind of get a good look at this.
I'm walking up close to get a good look at
Okay.
it.
All right. So what you guys see are some images that seem like they're telling a history or a story. Nia, you will notice that there is a particular figure who looks rather reminiscent of Inga. towards the middle of this mural. And before that, there's this sort of image of a wave. And Maxim, I think with that fantastic history score, you will recognize that this mural is rather reminiscent of the history that the maid described was on the tapestry that she was seeing woven.
Interesting. Kind of mutters to himself.
Yeah.
Is there someone currently
And
painting
right where
it,
the artist is currently...
Yeah.
Yes, there is an artist who is standing on top of a rather precarious-looking scaffolding, paintbrushes in his mouth, paint on his clothes, but he looks very focused and quite pleased with his work so far. He keeps backing away and smiling as he continues to paint. He's just beginning to paint the next panel. The previous one was of Elamon, sort of this stylistic image of Elamon with a crown being placed on his head by many hands. And this next panel just seems to be getting started. And it's rather dark with all these red tones just beginning to be brushed in with these broad strokes.
Like it's like definitely still being worked on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's still much to go. It seems like there's plenty of wall left, as if there's going to be even more added to it with time.
More sections. And does this seem like it? It's this seems like it's the same sort of history, but it's like farther back than where the loom was at. It's hasn't caught up to where the loom was. It seems like, right? Or was this?
Yeah, it hasn't. It's just beginning to catch up with the loom. So the loom showed everything sort of starting with the Wild's first opening, and that's kind of where this mural starts. So they start at just about the same place, and they're in about the same place of progress too.
Interesting. We could speak with the artist. So just to double check, because I see there's 3 figures in the room. One being Quill over here, it looks like. Is this the painter over here?
Nope, that's the professor. One of the professors who was in the brothel previously. And he looks like he is chatting with this student who's just kind of rolling her eyes and trying to keep him focused on this paper that she's pointing to. And then there are just 2 white cloaks poring over some books, and they just seem like they're in a rather intense conversation. Like 2 nerds who are really involved in this magical theory that they're trying to discuss.
Just to clarify, because I feel like this might be noteworthy depending on how things go. I think the disguise, I don't know what I was saying last time, but I think the disguise was similar to like how Maxim currently looks, but like with no horns, human skin tone, and like a little bit of stubble as well. Which actually, come to think of it, I think he actually probably has some stubble at this point, because I don't think he's shaved since prison.
Ah, okay. So you look quite a bit like yourself. How recognizable do you think you are?
The hair color, skin color are definitely different. He's also not
someone
dressing
who would know you well.
Like he would. I think. Somebody that would know him well, it'd be like. I think I want to say it's questionable, because I think he would try to make a few small subtle changes. But like. Notably, I think, because I'll just say this, the way that he's trying to spin it is that if Quill sees him, he might actually end up recognizing him from the tavern, possibly. But Jahi, like other people that are here, might recognize him as well. Possibly,
Okay.
I don't know. Partially because he like, I'll just share this with you, just in advance. If Quill questions him, his response is going to be, well, people typically don't appreciate tieflings coming around, so when I'm out and about, this is typically the form that I take. I'm just priming you, that's kind of what my plan is here.
Okay. I'll try to play off that to the best of my abilities. So you'd be recognizable to some people who would know you very well, but overall to a stranger, you're not recognizable.
I think I think he does have more of a full-on beard here. And I think he's a bit like, he's portraying himself as maybe a bit stockier. A little bit, not too much.
Okay. All right. So different, but not extremely different.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. So I think the way I'll do this is go ahead and roll me a stealth check with advantage, since you are disguised, just so we can get a reading on the room.
Check. Okay.
Yeah, with advantage.
All right. Let's see, 10 plus 4 to start with. Literally middle of the road. And let's see. Let's roll in the bin. Okay. 16 total.
16 total. Okay. So you do get a glance from the professor who's sitting at the table with the drow woman. He kind of squints your way for a moment, cocks his head. He obviously looks like he's nursing a hangover, and then he just shakes his head and looking kind of confused, like stubbornly confused, like I could have sworn, but no, I don't know. He doubts himself as he goes back to just like barely listening to this drow woman as she talks about her paper. But Professor, my paper. What do you mean? Blah blah blah. She's trying to get his help with this paper. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just kind of stonewall hangover, and I don't know, maybe flirting. I can't. I don't know if I can tell.
Yeah, you can't really tell. It's not above the realm of, not outside the realm of possibility. And so, Nia, what are you doing, honey?
I'm probably walking up towards the painter.
The what?
The painter. Okay.
Yes. Painter. Okay.
All right.
Is Quill doing the painting?
You know what? No, it's not Quill.
Okay.
You know what, let me just throw a placeholder somebody in there.
You can always use Quandary as the placeholder.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? We'll just use Quandary as a placeholder. Yep. So there's this fella standing up on the scaffolding above you.
I've been a double agent this whole time.
Continuing to paint. He is in the zone. He is just. He is creatively in the zone.
I need a new Maxim token.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Nia.
Or if you just want to move him closer, because he'd follow behind.
Okay.
I think as she's approaching closer, she's definitely drawn in by the image of Inga on it, and is curious as to what the rest of
Mm-hmm.
these things mean because she's not too sure what exactly he's drawing.
Mm-hmm.
But she will look
Yes.
up at him as he's painting on the scaffold and try to get his attention without startling him, but she's gonna try and just call up
Mm-hmm.
to him.
Okay.
Excuse me?
So you're just trying to call up to him.
Yep.
And for a moment he doesn't do anything. He's so focused. Do you call again?
Yes.
Okay. And then finally he will pull away and look down. Yes, yes, what is it? What do you want? Can't you see I am busy? I feel like I should do a bad French accent. Can't you see I am busy?
Extremely. Yes, very.
Thought you said a bad
Question
French
for
accent.
you. She's gonna point towards the image of Inga. Uh, what exactly are you depicting here?
Oh, madame, this is a mural that was commissioned by the Queen Mother Vesta herself. Uh, she wanted me to create a history of the world, our world, since the opening of the wilds. Was there a particular image you were interested in? Perhaps you would like to pay for a commission yourself.
No, thank you. You seem very busy. I don't want to pull you away from your work or anything, but you said that this was a history of, I guess, time since the
Oh,
wild?
indeed, mademoiselle. Indeed, indeed. Ever since the wilds opened up, and he points to the first panel. And then when there was an expedition, and then there was the Hoja War with the invasion of Inga, and then her ultimate defeat. And he points to an image of Inga like kneeling on the ground, sort of screaming with this red light bursting around her. And then there was Element's rise, and then the purge, and then now, well, it is not complete. I am to receive more instructions very, very soon from the Lady Queen on what this next panel will look like.
If I may kind of step in, I've got a question. Before I'm curious about something. What's the style that this is kind of
Oui.
being depicted in? Sorry, this is out of character, but
Okay, yeah. So it's a very classical sort of overly dramatic Baroque style. It's like your classic painting, but with very
okay.
strong shading and bright colors and like strong contrast with light from clouds and stuff like that. But there's a softness to it, but it's very dramatic and wispy, and it really just there's a lot of detail, so it really just captures the eye and keeps on giving.
Yeah. Kind of back in the voice that he used the other night with Quill. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to perfectly replicate it, but he knows the voice, and he's gonna kind of go back to that. He's gonna kind of butt in and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Your use of style, it's very interesting to me. I find it very, I don't know, out of character. I don't know if Baroque is a person in this world, but he's gonna go, this is very Baroque. It's the use of color and shapes and lines capture the eye and draw in the attention, and I gotta say I'm fascinated by this."
And the artist, he just sort of puffs up a bit as you say this. Oh, I thank you. I have studied for many years. I was known to be a prodigy, and I started drawing as soon as I could pick up a piece of charcoal. And
And
well, you obviously have good taste, good sir.
I must say you know how to tell a story with a brush. And I'm curious because this is
Uh,
depicting true to life events, kind of just gesturing to the murals.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
must say, coming from our great leaders, did I know you probably are still sparse on details yourself, but I'm curious, do you have any instructions for what direction they're planning on taking this world? Shown through your art?
Well, all I know so far is that it is going to be very great, very dramatic, almost ominous, but there will be great
Oh,
red light, like what we saw in the defeat of Inga.
that light. Interesting.
Yes,
He's
yes.
just
And
stroking his chin, fake beard currently. Um,
mhm,
uh,
it was hinted that there may be a sort of very proud male figure featured in this panel, but I do not have the exact instructions yet, and
Interesting. Did you have
the
anybody in mind to
lady
model for
mother,
this,
she will
or
tell me exactly what she wants to see. Well, I do not have a model yet, but I will know who to choose when I receive the instructions from Vesta herself.
I
But
see?
are you looking to model? And he looks Maxim up and down a little incredulously, like, yeah, you're not gonna be it, buddy.
Perhaps, but perhaps I don't know if I
And
would
then
be such a
he
grand
looks
figure.
Nia up and down, but perhaps we might be able to use a lady of quite a striking beauty for a few of the maidens that may be pictured. And he gives Nia, sorry, these sort of wiggly eyebrows, like ho ho.
It's not a character.
Um, uh, I no. And she's gonna turn and focus her attention back on the painting again.
Oh, you disappoint me. You wound me, mademoiselle.
Kind of resting a hand like on her shoulders and kind of gesturing back towards this painter. Maxim's just kind of like, I'm sorry for her. She's got a lot on her mind and on her plate at the moment. So I think she is a lot to deal with. So maybe, perhaps in the future, but I think that maybe for this, she might be a bit preoccupied. I
Oh,
am sorry though.
She looks up at Maxim, just kind of shocked, like, uh, what?
I'm just like, I'm trying to give her a bit of a look. It's like, just roll with it. I'm getting you out of this. You're not actually going to be staying here for that long that you need a model for him. Not saying any of this.
the artist, he looks rather disappointed, and he says, "Well, madame, if you find yourself with free time, you can certainly find me here, and we can certainly explore artistic beauty if you like."
I don't know if I like, but
Oh,
uh, do you spend a lot of time in this library?
oh, oui, mademoiselle, especially this last, oh, how long has it been? 3 months? 3 months. No, it's been much longer than that. I think more like 5 months I have been working here exclusively on this mural.
Quite a bit of time to dedicate to such a grand project, but certainly your work has paid off.
Of course. Oh, certainly, it's paid very, very well, and well, it has been invigorating and honoring to work for the royal family.
We are grateful for your service. He just kind of says with like not laughing, but like a light sort of I don't know, jaunty end to that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, of course.
Perhaps you and I, kind of gesturing to Nia, should go and look for that book you were looking for.
Agreed.
So your name is Nia?
I did not say. I said you and I. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you said Nia.
I
Okay,
said
sorry.
I
I
gestured
misheard.
towards Nia. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nia was about to get really upset.
I was specifically trying to avoid saying her name. I was.
Mm-hmm.
She
And was there anything
appreciates it.
else you wanted to say or ask him, Nia?
No.
It just sounded like you were going to ask. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think we've gotten what we can from him.
Agreed. Off to search for some interesting old books.
Yeah. I mean, I think you probably
of course.
could get more from him, but I don't think you're interested in seducing
I
him.
don't think
Out of
Nia
character. Out of
wants
character.
to get more information from him.
No. No. Let's be off. Get up.
Well, if you change your mind, madam, please visit me as much as you like. And if you wish to call on me, simply ask for Francois. And you know what? I'm going to say this guy is a big gray tabaxi after my
Francois.
cat.
Goofy.
So, Francois.
What, are you
Mhm.
interested in him now?
I mean, I didn't know he was a big gray cat. That changes things. And now I just want to cuddle.
Well, I just decided to go with it since I was trying to look for some art.
Oh, that's fair. That's
And I
fair.
thought, well, he's got a bad French accent, so might as well be French.
Francois.
We're just going to call him Francois.
And then, got a cat for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you, Francois. I'm sure we'll see each other around. I wink at Nia without him, turned away from him. No, we won't.
Oh.
Likewise.
No. Nia took that wink completely wrong, and now she's looking at you kind of mortified. She now thinks that you are winking at her to advance on Francois more.
Oh. Alright, so I think we're gonna head off to search the shelves.
Okay. Okay, so you guys want to search the shelves. So are you going to look on one of the lower floors, or do you want to go up to the top? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. As we're walking past the light cloaks, do I overhear any of their conversation? Or could I try and overhear any of their conversation?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception, if you like.
Alright. Let's see, that is... Ooh, a 7. 2 plus 5.
A 7. Yeah, you don't hear what these guys are saying at all. It just sounds like nerd speech, and this is some deep, physics level stuff that you haven't heard before.
I speak nerd?
Yeah,
Am I that out of the loop?
You
1
might.
year, I'm already behind all the nerd speak? Maxim is hurt.
Yeah.
He's gonna take one psychic
sorry.
damage. No, okay, I'm kidding. But no, I think we're gonna go off to the shelves.
Okay. So where would you like to look? Top, bottom?
Nia? Do I know where a good book because what was the specifics for what Shahi likes? Magic books? Just books on magic?
Yeah,
he's impressed
magic
by?
history, really. Yeah, he's impressed by the oldest type of history you can. Yeah, there's no that this sort of south end was where he just hadn't really delved into before. Like, you can only read so much even within this old man's lifetime. He just
Yeah.
hadn't gotten to this part of the library.
Okay. So he's gonna kind of try and find something regarding that sort of stuff. Like,
Okay.
potentially something he would know he hasn't read, but I don't know because it's a bit of a guessing game on what he's read since Maxim's been imprisoned. So, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I think that still probably would be impressed by seeing somebody reading something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna start searching for those. I don't know whether that would be first floor, second floor, or somewhere in between.
Okay.
Uh,
You guys could split up. One could go top, one could go bottom. Doesn't really matter.
I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea, but what do you think?
I'm gonna explore the top floor.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm gonna go bottom floor, I guess.
What am I looking
All
for?
right.
Who
So we'll
knows?
start with
Split
me.
the party.
Yeah, you're looking for the oldest,
Yeah, what's like the oldest, like a title that I
dustiest
don't even
thing that you can.
understand? That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're starting your way upstairs, and immediately, as you're looking at the titles of these numerous books, you hear a set of footsteps approaching you. Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, hi. Am I supposed to know you? Like, I know you, but do we know each other here?
You don't remember me from the other night. I'm Quill.
Quill.
And you are Nia, right?
Yes.
We met in the Tipsy Duck.
Yes. Yes, I remember. That night was a little hazy. Very hazy.
Are you all right?
I'm better now.
Well, that's good.
But maybe you look like you read a lot. I'm looking for a book that would interest someone that is very well read.
Yes, you're looking for something for Professor Jahi, is that right?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Ah, well, just so happens I was hoping, really, to run into you here, and I did have some thoughts. And he sort of scuttles to the middle of this upstairs section and starts running his fingers along the very bottom shelf where it looks like books have been kicked or nicked by carts and ladders accidentally through the years. And he pulls one out that just looks like it's about to fall apart. Like the spine looks like it's cracked in half. And he blows the dust off of the pages. I think something like this would do. It's a language I frankly don't know. And it looks certainly quite old, and, well, this might be worth a shot. I noticed it the other day, and I thought of you and your friend.
Nia's eyes lights up when she sees that. I think this would work perfectly. Yeah, I also don't know what it says, but it looks old. and it doesn't look like anyone's read it in a while, so we may have a winner.
Good. So, have you met any of the other professors here yet? Or have you enrolled? I know you were on your way to enrolling here.
Not yet. That's on the to-do list for today, but wanted to get this out of the way.
Right. Making good first impressions of acquaintances before really jumping into things, I see.
That's my goal. Thank you for
Oh.
the book and for the help and thinking of me when you saw this. You saved me a lot of time.
Of course. I must say you made a bit of an impression on me, and I'm glad to help, and I was hoping that I might see you again. And here we have met again. I do hope we see more of each other.
Yeah, that would be nice, I think. Yeah. You seem kind.
Thank you. I noticed you were talking to old Francois over there. I hope he didn't give you too much trouble, or bore you to tears.
She immediately starts looking uncomfortable. Not too much trouble. I don't know if I will be talking with him again soon.
Ah. Did he upset you somehow?
He asked me
I
to
heard that he can be
model for
forward.
him.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately, any pretty girl that comes within even an inch of this section of the library tends to immediately become a target for modeling for him. But not the first, and I dare say certainly not the last.
Well, at least he thinks I'm pretty. I guess I can take that as a compliment.
Well, and if you don't mind my saying so, I do too.
Thank you?
I'm sorry, that was too forward.
No, it was just surprising. I think I like it better when you compliment me than Francois.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment too. And well, I imagine you have places to be, so I shan't keep you much longer. But
Oh,
if you need me, I'm usually here.
thank
But
you.
if I can continue to be of service to you, I mean, I certainly will.
Uh, Thank you. It's reassuring to have someone as kind as you are offer me that assistance.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you are just as sweet.
I should be going now, but I hope I see
Of
you
course.
again.
Absolutely. I hear that there are whispers in the air that there's going to be a great party, uh, one that may indeed honor some of the brightest, the best, and the most loyal students. Of course, these are just rumors, nothing to be confirmed as of yet, but I do hope that if I go, first I have to be chosen, but if I do go, if I might bring someone along with me, and well, if you aren't up to anything, we'll see what happens first.
I have never been to a great party as you've described it, but if it is with someone as kind as you, I don't see any problems with that. Of course, if that is, to come to fruition.
Of course. And, well, we shall see. But in the meantime, I shan't keep you longer. Good luck with Professor Jahi, Nia.
Thank you. I will probably need it. And she's going to turn away, very quickly scuttling away.
Okay. Will will do the same in the opposite direction.
Scuttling away? What are you,
Maxim.
like a cockroach? I'm kidding. I'm very much kidding.
Maxim, I found the book. I'm just kidding. She would never scream out your name.
Please don't.
Or would she?
No.
So I'm also looking for books because I don't know that somebody literally handpicked a great one for her already. So
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear your name being screamed out, and then everyone just starts looking.
yeah, at that point I just join in. It's like, what? Who? Where?
What's
Isn't that
Maxim?
guy criminal guy?
What? What do you want? I mean, who? Where?
Who's that? Who's Morel?
Alright, so you've been downstairs, Maxim. You've been browsing,
Do you sneak into the restricted section?
and Nia descends the stairs. Yeah, the
Can I
restricted
sneak into
section.
the restricted section? That sounds awesome. I'm sure he's done it before.
Hmm.
To
Oh,
various
certainly,
levels of
for
success.
I mean, there's the restricted
Mhm.
section, and then there's the restricted section that's just 18.
You're not wrong.
sure.
The artist frequents that section. I can only assume. Francois.
hmm
I mean, what would I know the restriction to get into the restriction section would be, I guess.
Well, you would
Like, you have to
know.
have
You know what? Roll
authorization.
me. Who am I kidding? History check. You know this place so well. You know that if you pull on a certain book, that it'll open up a tiny little door in the
Bookcase.
bookcases that swings open, where you can get to, where you can get to some of the other things. And this restricted section, it's like what's behind the beaded curtain at like a waterbeds and stuff. It's where the restricted section is the
Get some stuff.
raunchy stuff.
The raunchy
Tomes
stuff.
of instructional things and things that are just not
Instructions.
considered appropriate to be checked out by the average public. That's what's in the restricted section.
Okay. Would I know of like anything that like would be impressive to Jahi that would be in the restricted section? And secondly, also, do I know if what security they'd have for the restricted section, or is it really just hidden away?
It's literally just hidden. You would know
Okay.
that much.
Would I know then, like,
But curious
maybe I
little
should
you would have figured it out.
yes. Are you kidding? He pulled on every book. Because he, like, I think he legitimately, like, was wondering, it's like, they've gotta have hidden doors in here. And I think he literally, like, spent, like, a couple days as a kid pulling on random books until he finally got one. And, oh boy, he probably had a field day when he discovered this restricted section.
Oh yeah. As far as something that would impress Professor Jahi from that section, It is highly unlikely. You got a pretty good scolding.
Would I know of anything about, like, particularly because I think now he's kind of curious about the, like, potential, like, royal families of other countries, like potentially the Viscarises? I don't know if that's how you pronounce their, plural family name, but
Lascaris?
yeah, the Viscaris family.
Yeah.
Or, like, anything about, like,
Um,
forbidden magic or something like that. I'm curious now.
so which one do you want to know about specifically first?
I guess specifically the
You want to try to look
Viscaris
into the family
family.
or the Lascaris, yeah. So that would be genealogy, and it would just be public knowledge at this point that Elamon Lascaris, he is the son of Florenz and Vesta Lascaris. Vesta was an elven princess from Osni, and her marriage to Florenz of Uthos ended a war between the two countries ages ago. And from their marriage was produced the older son.
Ella.
No, wait, the older son, his name was Florenz, and the father's was Florentius, and then the youngest son is Elamon.
Interesting. Okay. So
Yeah, so there's that.
probably not a high
That
chance.
basic history everyone would know.
I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be a high chance that would still be there if there were any dirty secrets about Elamon. So I guess then he'd be interested. I think he's gonna poke his head into the restricted section and see if there's like any like books on like magic that he might find useful. Both because I got two things in mind, both something that could potentially make him more powerful or something that could give him some kind of insight on this red magic that seems to be at least partially from the wilds, but it seems like there might be some other source from it as well. I'm not sure.
So you're looking just in the restricted section.
I mean, if there's stuff in like
On
the
these
non-restricted
particular
section as well,
subjects.
but it seems like outside of the restricted section as well,
Okay.
but it seems like more powerful stuff might be in the restricted section. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll me a investigation quick here, and we'll see if you find anything.
Okay. Let's see. Investigation. What is my bonus on that? Let's see. Investigation is +6. It's an 11. You know what? 11 plus 6, so 17. I think I'm going to use my point of inspiration that I have gained. On
Okay.
this. All right.
All
Let's
right.
see. All right. That was good. 23 total.
23. Okay, let's see. All right. So you do find one book in the restricted section, and it's sort of tucked away, almost as if it's trying to be just buried in the mass with the other books. And this one seems to be like it's a rather small tome. It seems more like a journal than anything else. And when you crack it open, it's handwritten, so it's not printed with the new printing press. It's handwritten as these sort of scrawlings, these the sort of train of thought as to just magical theories of what could be. And yeah, and it talks vaguely of negative intent with the use of magic, and the idea of corruption with the use of magic, as it is a divine and therefore supposed to be innately good force being used for evil, and how
corrupting
that
the
could
magic
have negative
itself.
repercussions. It seems like the rantings of just someone who's just kind of thinking, throwing things out there, and just wondering. It seems like the ponderings almost of a madman. It's not very well edited or strung together in the most cohesive way, but it just seems to be putting stuff out there. That's what you find.
Interesting. So he's gonna kind of give that a quick skim over and maybe look at that more later, but I think he's gonna tuck that away and kind of hide it away in his bag or in a pocket or somewhere.
Okay.
First, actually, before that, would he know whether these like books have any like sort of like magical markers on them or something like that would track that or something like that? Would he know anything about
There
that
are
or?
no. You wouldn't know of any magical markers. It's just like, before the days of the purge, especially. I mean, everything was just like, like a regular library. You go there, you check out the book, your name is written in the ledger, and if it was a particularly expensive or rare book, then people would like track you down, knock on your door, be like, "Hey, where's the book?" If not, you have to pay a
Yeah.
fee or something. It's kind of like that. And as far as you know,
Yeah.
there's no magical tracking for it.
Okay. Could I maybe make an Arcana check to see if they've like added in anything like that in more recent years, the past year or so?
Sure.
I just want to, cross my I's and dot my T's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was, I think, let's see. The bonus 15?
15. So from what you can tell, there is nothing magical that is being used to track this volume or any of the books for
Okay.
that
So it
matter.
seems like it's safe to steal. I'm gonna steal it.
Yes.
I'm
Safe
going
to steal. Okay.
I'm going to tuck it in a bag or something. I'm gonna kind of bury it so that it's not like immediately apparent to anybody like just looking through my bags either.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I will step out of the restricted section.
Okay. And then I think at this point it would be that would be a good point for Nia to be coming down the stairs then. Meet up with you.
Can I make a suggestion?
Okay. Go for it.
As Nia's coming down the stairs, she kind of walks past some of the shelves, and like as she walks past, that's when Maxim comes out from behind the, restricted section.
The beaded curtain.
Mm-hmm.
The beaded curtain.
It's that
Yep.
awkward encounter of like you see it, the like passage to it. You're about to turn away, and out of the corner of your eye, you just see him walk out.
Find something good? Kind of questions.
I think so. Did
All
you?
right.
Wait, do you even know what that is?
Nope.
I think so.
I rolled, and no, she does not.
I think I found
Didn't
something
even crack it open.
that should be useful for our paper that we're working on. He says with a bit of a look at her.
Oh,
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
our paper. I found this book that I think might help, but we may need to have someone else look at it. to translate it for us?
Gotcha. I know a cafe actually nearby that we can regroup at, get our bearings for this.
That sounds great. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to lead her out of the library and potentially in what's, happening at the university. I don't know if there's anything like going on. You know what? I'll look at like one of those like cork boards. I don't know if they have those, but like if they have like an event board, just to kind of get like a bit of a vibe of like what's going on, if there's anything like happening soon, or whether it's just kind of like things are normal for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna see if you can find one of those.
There is a message board, and it's got everything from don't forget to get your textbooks to it's even got an ad for tutoring. Everything
Maybe
seems
send
like relatively mundane until you get to
you.
some of the one poster that lists "Be wary, criminals about," and there are some very crude sketches of Kiko, Echo, Zimzu, and you. And where there should be you, Maxim, it seems to have been torn out.
Oh,
Like
oh
somebody went
no!
and tore out your picture specifically.
Interesting.
Is that like something someone does when like they're deciding to go after them, or is this like an act of sabotage?
You don't know, do you?
We'll find
Yeah,
out.
we do.
Well,
I gotta imagine that everybody else's portrait is just like a stone-faced mugshot, then Zinzu's just a dumb smile.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it
Yeah,
is? It's like a
pretty much.
mugshot, but like Zimzu's like got a smile in the mugshot or something like that.
Like if they gave us like those beat-up mugshots, he's still smiling through that.
Not really sure of what that means or what that's gonna refer to. He's gonna just kind of, I guess that's shimmy on out, kind of regroup.
Okay, so you're headed back to the Tipsy Duck? Is that the idea?
For that, I think because I don't know how late in the day
Or are you going
this
to try
is
to
now.
find Jahi?
I don't know how late in the day it is now.
It's about
at
this point.
Midday?
Yeah,
okay.
1 o'clock midday.
I think before we regroup at the tavern, and actually, he might realize that Quandary is probably went back to the tavern. Might send a message to him, but I actually want to start by going to that regroup with Nia at the cafe that we kind of talked a bit about. I don't know if we even have a name for that, but do you remember the one?
Mm-hmm. One that was significant to you in the past?
Yep.
Okay. Well, don't have a specific cafe map ready for that, but we'll just theater of the mind that part. So you're taking Nia to a cafe, and then we can switch back over to Quadri.
Yeah.
See what he's up to.
He found a casino. He's like almost out of money.
I can see it.
All right.
Go big or go home.
So I guess we'll go ahead and continue with you, Quadri. So what are you doing? Now you said you were, I guess you can do whatever you want here, but you said you were going to go back to the Tipsy Duck, or were you going to go for a walk of the city? Is that what you said?
Well, take Tipsy Duck first, but I'm assuming I didn't catch up with these guys because I'm assuming they left at a reasonable hour while I very much was late because of a little sleep in.
Yeah.
So look around, asked. I assume I would have been told they're not here at the moment. Quick breakfast beer, and just decided to go give a quick loop around the city, just to
Okay.
see how it flows. Any places I might find like little alcoves or any little hidden gems as whatnot.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let me get out this map, just since you're walking around. So if you're just walking around the city, you will see everything from the poorest slums to the richest homes. You will even see Elamon's palace from the docks, a great shining white house in the distance. Is there anything particular that you are looking for or keeping an eye out for as you walk?
Anything that might catch my eye, but you hold your fingers out in front of your face and something out there looks so tiny, you just squash it with your fingers.
Okay.
All right.
And if I can get these tokens, where are they? Yeah, sorry. And as you're doing this, you hear a female voice behind you. If only it were that easy.
I recognize this alleyway. Sorry.
I'm just one more time, just
It's just a random street map I have.
No, that's
yeah.
fair.
No, it's actually how the entire city's mapped out. It's exactly like it. Yeah, no, but I'll finish, turn around, and say like, well, you got to start it somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so. So what's your plan? You got one yet?
You got a couple, maybe a few in the back burner.
No,
it'd be too many.
I see you're still not with your group.
Temporary. They had, important jobs and things to do, and my part isn't yet.
That's what you think. You never know when you might run into somebody or something significant. Believe me, after all the time I've spent in this city, there's still things that can surprise you. And they never cease.
That's fair. But I've got some time to kill, so I may as well look for some of those if I can find them. I mean, while I have the time. And he said, yeah, just something to pass the time.
Suggestions for what exactly? I can tell you the best bars. I can tell you where to find a fighting pit. But I can tell you who can get you things. You have to be a little more specific.
I mean, any of that would be fun to kill some time, but I don't need it to be too long because I do need to meet up with them again, and I do have a fight scheduled for later today.
What's on your schedule?
Meeting up with my friends, figuring out the next step,
Right.
inviting them to the fight I scheduled with at the Rusty Anchor.
Well, I tell you what, there's a bit of a buzz going on. There's a little whisper that Elamon might be putting on some huge party, even bigger than what he's ever done before. And there are even smaller whispers that it could be a costume party, a masked ball. Now, I don't know about you, but I think it would be time better spent trying to figure out how to get into that, and confronting him, than trying to go seek out a fighting pit when the real fight may be just around the corner.
My real fight's not with him just yet. It's just screwing with him and, some other people, certain blonde. But
I'm sorry, that cut out for me. What'd you say?
my fight isn't going to be with him directly yet. We are going to. Plan is to mess with him a bit, though. And it's a shame we do have to do this while this party's happening, because it sounds like the best cover to rob anywhere else while this party's going on. That's such a shame.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could always try to pickpocket some of the nobles as they come in. Play as one yourself for a day. I've met a couple people who just love to impersonate the nobility and crash their parties. They make a living doing it.
Yeah, probably. But, I'll need to check with, like I said, my friends. But if it works out, we might be able to do something with this. Thanks, this is not something I knew before. But, tell you what, as a treat, I'll treat you anywhere you want to go get some lunch or a drink.
Sure. And she'll think for a minute. Then she'll say, well, how about... There's this cute little place I've heard about. Good food, apparently. Nice place. Kind of around the university. Called the Rising Sun Cafe.
Sure thing. Lead the way.
All right. And so, Lucia, she'll lead you through the streets expertly, dodging everything. As she knows this place like practically blindfolded, like the back of her hand. And she leads you to this little cafe across from the university. And this just so happens to be the same cafe that you, Maxim, and you, Nia, are in.
Did we see this,
So
or
it's a busy place. Hold on. I think I'm just gonna reuse the Tipsy Duck map because I didn't have a map
that works? That
in
works.
mind for this. I'm sorry. I didn't
You're okay. You're okay.
even think about ending up here today. So, Tipsy Duck, but it's totally not the Tipsy Duck at the moment. Yeah. So, here we are. We're at the cafe. It's a cozy place. It's a familiar place to you, Maxim. Really, for all the time that's passed since you've been here and all the changes with the purge, the atmosphere really hasn't changed. It's just cozy, homey. There's some bard in the corner reading off their slam poetry.
Man,
There's
Kevin's really
delicious,
improved.
hearty food, everything from the sweet stuff to a breakfast sandwich. So, it's a good and familiar place to you. And Nia, while you may have never been here before, it's rather inviting. No one gives you any strange looks or stares. It's just a place that feels cozy.
Maxim wants to go up to the counter and order, like, just say, "Oh, I'll take the usual, please," but he's like, that would definitely raise questions and ruin the whole disguise thing. So he's gonna go up and get a coffee in the way that he likes it. I don't know what that is offhand. And
You mean
scone.
you don't know what your character would order from a coffee shop? You know. You're fine.
Yeah. he's gonna order his usual thing, which I'm just gonna say is like 2 gold. Do you think that's fair? 3 gold, something like that.
Oh, that's more than what you need.
Silver.
Just 10 silver
All
would
right,
be the
10
price for like a coffee and like a sandwich. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know more than sit down, and Quadri, Lucia leads you right in here. And compared to all these hip young people who seem like college students, she seems rather out of place, and just maybe so do you with this ominous bird perched on your shoulder.
So much for keeping a low profile.
Nope. He is caught very audibly. I myself have not looked at anyone else, just looking that very much blind person stare forward.
Okay.
Fair enough, I guess.
And Lucia, oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting to see whether they're gonna sit over with us or they got something else that they're planning to do because he doesn't know at the moment.
I mean, I don't know. Do we see them immediately? Like, are they obviously there, like in front, or like at the other corner, or like?
I mean, it's not a big place, so Lucia, she instantly recognizes them and turns back to you, Quadri. It looks like your friends are here.
Really? Well, what do you know?
Yeah.
Well, I still owe you the lunch, or whatever it is we want to do here. So you want to come join us for that?
Great. Absolutely, especially if you're buying. And she'll just take her sword off her shoulder and plop down at the across the table from Maxim and Nia, just out of nowhere, just plop down. Hi guys.
Subtle. How's your day been?
Just this
I mean, you talking about me or her? Because like mine's pretty normal. I have no idea about her.
just this loud clang of metal as she sits down with an obnoxious hi guys. And yeah.
I'm kind of doing the like elbow on the table, like hand over his face, even though it's disguised, and just kind of like hopefully nobody's looking at me, but also kind of looking to see who's looking. Probably, definitely some people at least.
Oh, it's everybody. We are
You
the
just kind of
cost.
capture the momentary attention. Yeah, so it'd be like a gritty cowboy walking into a Starbucks. That's just kind of the vibe that
Yeah.
comes with you two, with Lucia and Quadri walking in. It's just kind of like this momentary surprise, and people just kind of, some people snicker and look away, other people look for just a moment longer and shake their heads. And it's just, again, that momentary curiosity and the disbursement of that.
Okay, so I guess we're good.
Don't seem to have captured any negative attention, really.
All right.
Except for the guy standing in the corner reading his
Slam poetry.
slam poetry. He looks a bit miffed. Yeah.
Oh, did we take the spotlight from him?
Yeah.
He's been working
So
really
he
hard.
starts up
I
again
assume...
even louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'm just gonna press the digitation. And just give him like, well, as soon as he press the digitation, just give him like a nice little shower. Press the digitation. And he's just gonna have a nice little poof of sparkles behind him, and like a very faint bit of music starts to play behind him. as he begins whatever he's about to start beginning.
And he seems to smile at that, and he continues again with this even more just illustrious and a dramatic air as he continues to recite his poem. And it seems to be like this really, honestly, quite hammy and not very tasteful ballad about the history of the world. Actually, not too far off from all those panels you saw being painted by Francois. It seems this era of history, very recent history, is being emphasized by all these hip young college people. And
Propaganda.
Propaganda, huh? Who would have thought? So, Quadra, do you end up going over to eat your table mates? Or your teammates?
With hopefully. Yeah.
Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Siler.
Sorry. No, yes, I assumed I was sitting with him. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I hope things have gone well for the two of you. We got a bit of progress. Nia, you said you found a book, right? That you thought might be a good fit for Jahi?
Yeah. Should I? Okay. And she's gonna like awkwardly just bring it out and lay it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I assume when she sets it down, like this little puff of dust just kind of emanates from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just a little poof. That dust that really tickles your nose and just makes you want to cough.
I don't even know what this book is about. I don't understand this language.
Do I recognize this book? Or do I understand its language?
You do not recognize the book. But let's see. What language was this written in? I had it in Infernal. Do any of you speak Infernal?
I speak Infernal.
Two of us speak Infernal.
We speak Infernal.
All right. Cool.
You are in luck.
So, yeah. So, do any of you open the book or try to flip through it?
What is the title of the book? I guess would be a good question before we
rip
this bad boy open. Or is there a title?
Is this just a face with human skin on it?
Yeah, my literal justification. Sorry, my justification for taking Infernal is literally. You would not believe how Tiefling, of course, but there's a lot of books of hidden knowledge that are in Infernal. So, it was topical.
Yeah, no, devils and demons tend to. They write down the juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this book is titled. Let's see, where was the title that I had for this? Words from the Shadows. That's the name of the book. Words from the Shadows.
Is it alright if I gestures to crack it open?
By all means.
Carefully, because again, he doesn't know what type of book this is. Actually, before he's gonna start cracking it open, and then he's like, "How did you find this book? If you know it's a good option, if you don't know what it is."
It was a recommendation.
Oh, from a librarian?
Something like that.
He shrugs. Not really sure what to make of it.
Being sheepish, are we?
and he's gonna continue cracking it open and kind of angling it so if something like blasts out of the book, it's not flying directly into his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make a death saving throw. No, I'm kidding. So as when you open it up, it too has the look of something very old, very ancient, handwritten. The ink is actually quite faded, so it's almost impossible to read some of the pages because it seems that it was written in like a very how should we say basic
Blood?
or rustic brown ink, which is faded into the brownish color of the pages. So it's
Blood?
difficult to read. So you can only pick out some single words or phrases in the pages.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the words that you are able to pick out are things like darkness, uh, corruption, and let's see, what did I have in my notes here? Doo-doo-doo. Uh, we are the darkness to the light. Those are a few of the words and phrases you're able to pick up.
I think he like kind of cracks this open, seeing nothing exploded out of it, so he's kind of a bit more relaxed now, and he's just kind of flipping through the pages, kind of giving this. I think he probably takes like a minute or two as he's looking over this, and he's just like a curious, like the frightened expression turned into like a curious expression, turned into this sort of slowly morphing into this sort of mortified, like what sort of face that he's got now. It's like, what did you grab?
And then there's one last phrase that says, "We are to all fair as light is to shadow." Or as shadow is to light, I'm sorry. We are to all fair as shadow is to light.
How much of this is out loud? How much of that is in your head?
No, I think as he's reading that, he definitely does a okay, that's
Yes, word. Interesting.
I think this might be relevant to our investigation, but I don't think this would be a very good gift for Jahi. Perhaps if he had a very morbid curiosity, but this book details a very vague sort of darkness that, and it just kind of gestures to the page with that line on it. It's like, speaking of a darkness opposite of the Godfather.
Godfather.
I don't know if that's like a
a
relevant expression, but I mean, it seems like an appropriate description for him.
I'm sorry. The second you said that, I just imagined like the Godfather, but as a deity. That's how he runs his church.
Yes.
It's just the mob.
Gonna give you an offer. You can't refuse.
Sorry, no,
why don't you go to these folks?
I meant that in more the Odin overgod sort of sense, like the god
All-Father.
All-Father.
Yeah. So you would know that. I mean, you know that
All-Father, not
Jahi.
Godfather.
Damn it!
Magic history
The
is
father
his
of the
thing,
god.
so something like this, it would probably interest him.
Might be interesting to him, but it seems dark, and well, I guess I hope that he wouldn't have such a morbid curiosity. But I I don't know, maybe.
I mean, you don't know.
So
He
should
apparently
we?
never
In a
got this
couple years.
section.
I mean, would I recognize this book? I don't think so. Maybe he's already read it. I don't know. He's gonna find you're gonna bring it to him. It's like, oh, boring. This one.
You're gonna bring it to him. He shows you it has a hand with a 3 on it, and he's got the first 2.
Yeah, for all this missing words, you just hold up the other pages for the other books, and you could get the full
It's
story.
actually a mirror trick. You hold this up to a mirror, you get the full version in the mirror.
Interesting.
Here's the thing: you can't look at your own reflection because then your reflection is gonna punch you.
Punch you for reading the book. Why do you
No,
do
they're
that? That's
punching
such a
you
bad idea.
as. Here's the thing: you're reading the mirror version. The mirror version is reading yours, but it's incomplete, and they're now frustrated.
But the mirror version was complete before, and then you made it incomplete or something?
Essentially, you're taking that knowledge from somewhere else.
Anyway, I suppose this could work, but it's got dark secrets in it. It seems that I can't quite make heads or tails of at the moment. But again, who did you say gave you this book?
Someone that I met in the library.
Okay. Do you want
Sure,
to
it wasn't
talk about it?
someone that you know.
Do you want to talk
Lucia
about it?
leans forward.
I have met him before. He seemed trustworthy.
Oh,
Trustworthy. He just
is he
kind
an
of looks over
ex?
the book again. I actually, this is kind of relevant to the book that I found, I think. And he kind of goes to dig it up, but decides maybe it's best not in a public place. And I found a book in the restricted section that seemed more of a journal or someone's ramblings, telling about how if magic is directly corrupted for evil intent, obscening the balance that was brought into, originally intended for magic, it becomes corrupted. I think that might be what we're seeing with this haughty guy and these murals. When I saw him in the prison, he had his blood spilt and became this plant that I had only seen in the wilds. Kind of gesturing to Nia, it's those fungus that show you, terrible visions and nightmares and all that wonderful, happy stuff. He says very sarcastically. He bled, and that spread it up where he had bled. I think it might have been linked to the corruption. I think they might be trying to... This is admittedly a bit of a stretch, but I think that they might be trying to make this haughty guy, into the avatar for this god that is the opposite of Altair. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it seems like that is where the evidence is currently pointing. Bit of a stretch, I know, but
Huh. Certainly an idea.
Is the journal mention any way to stop this?
I will pull out the journal, kind of hiding it so that it's not like entirely visible to the entire crowd here, and just kind of give it a look over. Does it mention anything about like ways to subvert this or stop it?
Wait, so is this like a journal or like a book of prophecy?
Give me a quick
What are we looking at?
investigation.
I literally do not know because this is just a book that I found in the. I still gotta look this over more thoroughly. And let's see, investigation. Investigation plus 6, so 14.
14. Let's see. And you were trying to look for a way that this might be subverted.
Like this process or this.
So if you flip to like the end of this little journal, you'll find that there's this very general assertion that, well, as long as we keep on fighting the dark, light will prevail. But if the darkness rises up, then it can overtake the light, drown it out. It's that general sort of vibe.
Like hopeful,
of rambling.
We can beat this if we go at it together, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah, could
conclusive.
be, but maybe. Could be, but maybe. Could be, but maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
And it sort of trails off, and then there's things crossed out and scribbled out, like, I don't know. Like, again, this is just like somebody's mad ramblings.
I want to give this a bit of a closer look, but now might not be the time for that. It doesn't really have anything conclusive other than if, we continue fighting, then the light will prevail, but it's a bit generic.
So then we keep fighting.
Certainly. I don't think that was ever in question. At least I didn't think so. But I think certainly the timetable has moved up. And frankly, I think our position at the previous tavern was compromised. It might be best to find somewhere else to stay, and I might be able to. I knew the owner of this place a bit before. I might be able to work out some sort of boarding situation, but I can't really guarantee anything, and that might be risky.
Do we have any other options?
Rusty man.
Well, Lucia, she does straighten up a bit. I mean, there is the Rusty Anchor. It's not a great place to stay. But as I was telling... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no. I stayed there the night. Not great. It gets the job done, but, like very cheap and stale food. It's not great.
Yeah,
And then there's the golden feather. Now, I mentioned this because, and Lucia uh, reduces her voice to a sort of whisper. I've heard whispers that Elamon is going to be putting on some grand hoopla, inviting all the nobles, kids from the college even, and that it may in fact be a masked ball, a costume party.
Really?
Oh, I
There
heard
might be
about
some
that.
way that you could get in there. I mean, if you stayed at the Golden Feather, posed as some out of town nobles, maybe you could get in there. But it seems to
Might
me
work.
that you might want to. Then again, I don't know what you guys plan to do, but are you still going to follow through on meeting up with that professor that you're talking about?
I think it would be best. But I think we should certainly get him somewhere, speak with him somewhere other than the university at this point. I think we need to be perhaps a bit more direct. I don't think we have the time that I originally thought we would have to work on this. Perhaps
Would he be an attendee at this mass ball?
He might.
almost certainly I would think if he's under Element's thumb.
Wouldn't that be a
Yeah.
good place to speak with him?
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is partially out of game, but we're going to see Jahi to get info on how to break into Element's palace, right? Or was it info about this prophecy in general?
I think you're trying to get there initially to try to get information on the prophecy,
Prophecy. Okay.
to try to interpret what the maid had told you she saw. But also he is kind of under Elmon's thumb, so you might be able to get information from him on how to get into the castle. I mean, it's all up to you and how you decide to approach meeting up with them.
When did you say this ball was? Tonight? Tomorrow night?
That's the thing, we don't know. We're supposed to hear some big news sometime this evening. But I have seen palace messengers, little kids, running letters in their hands. I haven't intercepted one, but I can only assume what they're all about.
Interesting. Do you know a place that these kids frequent, potentially? Or where we might be able to find one of them with these letters?
The university, for sure. Saw quite a few of them going there looking for different people to invite, if this is a party, which, I assume it is.
Okay. So we don't know when this party's going to be, so we need to intercept one of these, probably multiple of these letters as soon as possible, I think. I think we should break into two teams. One to confront Jahi, that way we are prepared with any information we can get about this prophecy. And one group to intercept letters. And I think that this party would be a great time to infiltrate the palace. Lots of people about. They'll want to minimize any scene happening with the public eye being on them.
If this
Or-
party is the same party I'm thinking about, I may be able to infiltrate it.
Infiltrate.
go attend it.
Really?
All right, guys, we're gonna Ocean's 11 this.
Do you remember?
This just became a heist. Krill? Sorry, I didn't actually hear what you said
Do
there.
you remember Quill, the man that we met yesterday?
Certainly, yes. He was.
He may or may not have given me the book that you were reading. He also may have
That
some
tracks.
information on a potential party that rumors were going about having. And he may have told me that if this was to play out as an actual party, he would be interested in having me accompany him.
Really? Interesting. Would you? Because I know that was a bit of a touchy subject.
Would I
Be interested in accompanying him?
I mean, he is nice. I don't think I would mind it.
All right. Then that leaves Quandary and I needing invitations.
And turning to our friend here, didn't you say you had a possible idea for that?
The university, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them heading for the university, and one of my associates saw them heading for the Golden Feather, noble houses, and any other place of, well, with a high reputation.
I was about to say something, but no, that's more of a Zimzu plan.
Kill a noble and take their place.
Who's
I mean, I was just gonna go like this really weird guy I met at a bar like a few weeks ago.
But you met him at a bar several weeks ago? I thought he was in prison. You know what, that tracks for him. He was an odd one. Interesting one.
Time is relative when you're that hammered.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, he told me his idea for if you ever needed to infiltrate one place, just either pretend you've hooked up with someone important and just walk through the door.
I wouldn't say that that's a terrible idea, but I do think that they are going to be at least checking invitations. I think what we need to do is...
idea.
I mean, I have no idea how he would even do that, but I'm just saying that's what he told me his theoretical plan was. Mine is more leaning to what you said about getting one of those from the, school. That sounds way more doable.
I think if we can intercept one of those envelopes... You said there were kids. How old were they? What do you say?
Regular messenger boys. 10
preteens,
to 13. They're all wearing the royal colors. Purple with the gold ring and silver rings stitched onto their cloaks.
If we can either steal an invitation from them, bribe them, or convince them that we'll pass it off to whoever it's being delivered to, we could potentially get them. Do we want to try and contact Professor Shahi before this party, or do we want to wait until the party to contact him? If we wait until the party, we'll have to be working
Sounds
in
like you ought to try him before.
a very close time frame.
It sounds to me that if you met up with him before, you would have somebody on the inside looking out for you as you infiltrate the party. But this is ultimately up to you guys.
Potentially, we're not entirely sure on his standing. Oh, salaries. He's back.
Oh, there he is.
Everything went super quiet for a minute.
Oh no.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
Okay, we were discussing our plan on infiltration and getting, an invitation from the college.
Yeah.
Onward.
the kids, and then
Do we
and we're
contact
discussing
Shahi
how it
before or
might be.
during?
Yeah,
I think
Professor
the consensus
Jahi,
is
now or during the party. Lucia suggested that contacting him before the party would mean that you might have somebody on the inside to help cover for you as you infiltrate the party.
yeah.
All right.
So I think we need to once again break into two groups. Lucia, are you in on this? Either helping us get in contact with Jahi, get an invitation, or would you be interested in joining us at this party, or do you think that's not really your speed?
I just invited her here to eat because she helped me out with letting me know about the party. I don't assume she.
I'm flattered, really, really. You guys seem real sweet, real cute. But parties aren't really my scene. But if you need somebody on the outside to, cover for you, make sure anyone following you gets a nice skull crack. I'm your gal, and I can help you get some of those letters if you need.
I'm
But
sure that would be
I don't
appreciated.
belong in that. I don't belong in that world of, rich people gossiping about, who bought the newest dress or, who's smuggling what with slave labor. It's not really my world. My world is here, the city, the streets. But
I understand.
as I promised, if you need me, you know what to do.
Oh yeah, I
And
pat
she
the
sort of
whistle.
pantomimes a whistle. Yep, you got it.
In
Gotta
case things get physical, I will surely do that.
Get the okay hand sign. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And
That term.
it's safe to
Uh,
say that my brother
Hmm.
will be there too. He's generally on your guys' side, but he's gonna worry about trying to cover his own ass first, and I don't blame him. But he's not a bad guy to have looking out for you.
Having him there might get us out of a few situations, but we can't exactly count on him to be a, huge player in this plan, especially since we probably won't be able to get too much information to him about what's going to be going on.
Right. I can tell him what I can for you. But if it comes down to him having to betray you or cover himself, he's gonna cover for himself. Because, he's got a wife now to look after and a kid, from what I understand. So
Let's hope we don't
can't
get
blame
that
him.
deep in shit, but I think for now we need more information about the party, and I think probably the easiest way to get it was intercepting one of those letters. Should have all the information that any guest would have. date, time, instructions on how to, enter.
And a name.
And a name and identity.
Yep.
Remember to be called by.
Whatever mantle we end up picking out. Potentially, if we have a +1, if you've already got your invitation covered, Nia.
I mean, if my invitation says a +1,
that covers the other one of us.
Yeah, then you guys
One of us can play the role of. One of us can play the role of whoever we stole the invitation from, and one of us can play a bodyguard or something like that.
that makes sense. Just
Now you're thinking.
try and find someone who looks like who you get the invitation from, because there you get someone who's like very, even if they're not well known, if they just have one fact they know to be true that we don't match, it'd be a problem. I can't pass as a teacher, is the thing. Like, if they say elf, you might be able to cover the ears with some hair. It's like, I'm supposed to be a genasi or something, or a tiefling, or...
Anybody who would recognize this person as well might also get suspicious. It might generally be better for me to be the one to cover, since I can disguise myself.
Yeah, no, that's like, we need to find out who the person we're taking the thing is, and like looks like, to get a more solid disguise. Because you're really good at that one, plus the magic.
And another question I might also bring up, another thing that we will need to figure out, is how you're going to be able to see, because I can't imagine that they're going to allow birds in. So I know that some familiars have the ability to change forms, and perhaps that might be something that we need to have happen. Something more discreet, perhaps.
I mean, if nothing else, I could infiltrate from another place. There are plenty of servants.
Potentially.
I'm assuming in this place, so I don't think it'd be too weird to have one.
Right.
Another one walking around with a tray of snacks, drinks, and what.
Yeah. So that means we have 2 missions. One to get this envelope, this letter, and one to get in contact with Shahi. I think if we're just going with the direct route, we should probably just wait until after his classes and meet him in his office.
I mean, we can do that, and I'd also just investigate, because I'm assuming a party this big, the people doing it are probably looking for help, just to make sure everything goes okay. Might be able
I'm sure they have staff already, but yes, they'll probably be hiring extra help to cover all the guests.
Especially, or supposedly, as like the rumor mill goes, like the parties he's done before, he's supersizing this one, so
Yep. Right.
Might be an in there, but it would be limited because we'd be hired help. Maybe easier to blend in if there are some places we know we're not supposed to be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna suggest that we split back into our 2 groups. Quandary and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her. I'm blanking on her name, but 2 of you go and Lucia. The 2 of you, I think, since Lucia, you know more about where to find these invitations, and I think the 2 of you probably would be best to find these invitations, and I think Nia and I, since we already have at least some amount of cover, we should go and search for Jackie and get any information we can out of him.
There. Oh, also, for later tonight, who wants to come see me get my butt kicked?
I mean, I am interested. I'm interested, but if the party is tonight, we might need to postpone that. But, interested. Definitely.
Wait, now, is it tonight or tomorrow? I thought it was tomorrow.
We don't know.
I don't
at this
know the
point.
date yet.
Probably, I'd assume tomorrow. If the invitations are still being sent out, it might even be farther out.
I gotta imagine they'd want to give people time to prepare, like the invitations would say. Like, hey, be ready, like, in an hour.
Yes, that would be short notice for something this grand of scale.
And something I'm assuming people would like be talking about for a while before it even happened.
It might be a longer period of time, I'm not certain, but we need to be ready to move whenever this invitation says so.
Yeah. As soon as he's figured out what the date
Anything other
is,
than
we
tonight, then I am very interested. If it's anything other than tonight, I am very interested in seeing your ass handed to you.
that'll be great.
Right, so I think that's the plan for now. Do we have any? I do think the Rusty Anchor is probably our best bet for a safe place to stay.
Safe is relative. Safe. That's
For a
relative.
Safe from the
to stay.
state, I guess.
Yes.
An unsuspicious place to stay, maybe.
Also not
Ah.
entirely.
Well, unsuspicious from the state again.
They if they see you going there, by whatever reason, they just immediately put you on the okay suspicion list, or they're probably going to die later list.
Probably.
They essentially
It's not the
like
political
two
enemy.
things. Robbed, you're going to disappear, or nothing's going to happen, and you're immediately put on a suspect list. Like they survived the Rusty Anchor, they're not normal.
They survived the Rusty Acre, throw them in prison.
Okay, that means these guys actually are tough enough to not get immediately mugged. So keep an eye on them if they, show up again.
All right. Anything we should go over while we're together?
Code words. We should probably come up with a few code words. In case things go bad, or things go good, or if things change, like the situation changes.
Okay. Do you have any in mind for any scenarios?
I'm assuming any curse words or just random panicking is just telling. Good night.
Yeah, I think
It's just us letting each other know that something's gone horribly wrong.
that is fair.
Yeah.
And I think we can potentially chat a bit longer, but I think this might be a good time to stop just in general as well before we go and split up.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I think
we got some stuff to do. We have prepared.
If I remember correctly, Maxim had worked out some code words with the people back at the camp. If you needed to get in contact with them. And maybe we could say that we're sharing some of those, though I guess we don't really know what those are, so you're using those together. Wouldn't know what those would be. But yeah,
if there's any particular language you want to develop, just go ahead and call the shots on that one.
Okay. Good night, Crystal. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good night. And this is a good place to stop anyway.
But we'll definitely see if we can come up with some code words for later.
Masquerade.
We're gonna have to.
Probably need some kind
of.
Another thing is
I wish go shopping.
Bring our own masks, or do they provide their own?
I assume we have to bring our own just to prove the fanciness of the person you're impersonating.
Probably.
Because this is a masquerade ball, so you have to both look strong, have a cool mask, and not embarrass yourself. Or embarrass yourself all you want because you're wearing a mask.
That's also true.
Point of these is to be anonymous, I think. So
somewhat.
I don't even know if they announce your name when you enter. Just know that I'd assume they just have a large guest list so people know who's here, but no one knows who's who.
Yeah. Or at least, you have to guess.
True. Oh, that's not. Oh, crap. What if we, Elmon's, super close by?
That would, I think, generally not be good.
I think not. I don't know how we'd react to him, or how he would react to anyone else around him that's not immediately
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out. Yeah.
I am kind of curious though. When they're in that tavern, does Maxim recognize anybody? Like from his past? I mean, he recognizes people, I think, like regulars, but I don't know. You know, the one in particular. I would suppose.
Let me roll.
Probably unlikely considering it's also the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Oh.
1. Yeah, you don't recognize anyone, especially the one.
Well, I think he still recognizes some people because, like, at least like the owner, because you know,
Mhm.
like they own the place. Is it under new ownership or something?
No, the owner is fine. I mean, you just don't recognize anybody who you were particularly close to.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
So you might be like, "Oh my gosh, is that actually so and so? Holy cow, they've
They've grown up
changed."
so much. They've changed. You grew a beard.
Mm-hmm.
That guy grew a monocle. Grew a monocle? What am I saying?
Monobrow.
A monobrow. That would make more sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is a great place to stop the campaign for the night. We can keep on talking if you guys want, but this was fun. I had a good time
Yeah.
this session.
This was fun.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're getting to this part of the campaign. I was really looking forward to this
Masquerade. It'll be
prep for
fun.
the infiltration. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta make sure I find some really good maps.
Got a fire under us now.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. But yeah, no. We gotta step up for the night, guys.
Yeah, this was fun though.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you
I may
guys.
call you guys
It felt good to be back in the DM seat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I will call you guys at some point tomorrow for a small thing.
A small thing.
Yeah. But until then, good night,
Ooh,
guys.
what small thing?
Are we all
Aw,
like?
you're gonna leave me hanging like that.
Are we like gonna get on a VC? Do we need to get on a VC, or is it just like you're gonna let us know about something?
No, just I'll let you know. But I have no idea what time tomorrow, though. It could be a little latish, but probably not. Roughly around the time we usually start our own thing. All right, guys. Good night.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night,
Have
everybody.
a great day tomorrow.
You too. Bye-bye.